LAN relays are one of the options we offer to configure ScoutDNS for your on-premise networks. ScoutDNS relays are fully cloud-managed on-premise DNS forwarders that make it easy to encrypt DNS traffic and gain better DNS visibility into headless devices such as IoT or agentless devices for guest networks or staff BYOD. Relays are managed under the Sites tab and are associated to their physical locations. Let's select the Sites tab and then choose the location we want to configure. At the site, we need to have configured the WAN network, as this is what the relay uses to identify which site it belongs to for adoption. Select the LAN sub tab. This is where we configure LAN subnets for networks we want to protect. In this example, I have added 3 LAN subnets and assigned associated policies. If you have any local DNS services, such as Windows DNS for Active Directory, or if you need to forward queries to Azure VPN private DNS zones, you can configure this under the Local Forwarding tab. Here we have added 2 local forward zones and set the IPs for their local name servers, in this case from the local domain controllers. At this point, we are ready to install the relay on our local host machine. I have now switched over to my local Linux host, where I have already downloaded and extracted the setup files. Installing is a matter of selecting the install file for your CPU type and running the install command. The install will complete quickly with the service now running on the host. Let's switch back to the ScoutDNS UI and complete the relay adoption. Now, back in the ScoutDNS interface, select the Relays sub-tab. You will notice that this site already had at least 1 relay configured. It is highly recommended to operate more than 1 relay at each site in case of a host device failure. You will see that the relay host we just installed is now ready to be adopted. Click the Adopt button, and the relay will start the adoption process where it associates to the site and gets its configuration from the API. This process can take 1 to 2 minutes, and so for the interest of time, we will skip ahead. You will notice that the relay status has changed from adopting to online, and can see that the configuration was recently synced. ScoutDNS will auto-update the relay to the latest version if needed. Now, before placing the relay into your production network, we will need to test that client devices can access the relay and resolve queries as expected. Here I have switched over to a local Windows client at the relay site. You will want to run a few simple NSLookup tests to verify that client devices can resolve both internal and external queries from the relay itself. First, let's test external lookups. I am going to try an NSLookup to google.com while specifying the relay host IP address. That looks good, and is the IP address we expected. Now, we will want to run a similar test to be sure local domains forward and that we receive correct responses. This time I am going to run a lookup for the domain controller itself using the relay IP as before. And success, this response is correct. Now, very important, before pushing to production, be sure to repeat these tests for each subnet that you plan to deploy the relay to. Thanks for checking out the basic relay setup. If you have any additional questions or would like to get a demo, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to help. You can also find additional relay setup instructions on our help site located at help.scoutdns.com.